Hello, guys. Many students have been calling me to ask how to study, how to make the most of the lockdown period, how to prepare for exams, and how to remember. I feel so sad because so many people are upset, and I thought I should give you some useful tips to prepare for exams during this period. Many students are panicking and groping in the dark without knowing what to study. They are being misled by wrong guidance. And you should understand that studying is not something that can happen with a 10-minute video or even 10 minutes video or even 100 10 minutes videos. It is something very long and deep. You have to spend days and months and years also probably over studying a topic. It doesn't happen all on a sudden, and you should have a plan, a method, a strategy, which is what I'm going to tell you about. First and foremost, what should you study? What is it that you should study? I'm addressing English literature students here. You should have your own continuously expanding syllabus. You should prepare your own list of authors and works, and it should be continuously expanding as you learn more and more. The major authors and works should be picked from all the major periods. You can go chronologically, the 15th century, 16th century, 17th century, like that. Or within a century also there are periods. Like there is the neoclassical period in the 18th century at first, and after that there is the romantic revival period. So identify chronologically all the major periods in your discipline. And look at all the major literatures also, such as British literature, American literature, Indian literature, Commonwealth literature, European literature. If you have studied all that, you can go into South Asian literature, Latin American literature, world literature. Did you understand? And you should also touch upon all the major genres. You know, in UGC NET or NTA NET, you have a generic approach right now. Novel, poetry, drama, prose, those are the major genres. So you should have an expanding syllabus based on all this. That means you should write down all the major periods, all the major genres, all the major authors and works from all the literatures. Now, after you have done that, how should you study? Of course, you may have my notes or videos or some other notes or videos or some other material resources. So much resources there everywhere. Most of it is not well planned and well formulated or well organized, but still nobody has lack of material. Everybody has a lot of material. You should have a macro view as well as a micro view. Macro view means a general view. Micro view means a very in-depth view. Now let us look at what is macro view of English literature. You should know the socio-political events, the general trends of an age, the major movements. At the same time, you should also know the biographies of authors, the details of text. What do you mean by details of text? The summaries, the themes, the characters, the major episodes in a text, the quotations from the text, the major quotations, the criticism of the text, what other critics have talked about the text. All these things you should know. And it is not easy to know. Always be practical. If you want to pass an exam, if you are preparing for an exam, suppose you are studying Charles Dickens or Thomas Hardy, do not go and study all the major books of Thomas Hardy, all the summaries, all the themes, but some books are to be dealt with in detail. Some books are just cursory knowledge is enough. Like that, you should use your discretion based on syllabi. That is why you have done BA and MA. By then you know which are the major books that are often prescribed in syllabi. So study those major books in detail and study like 5 books, major books of major authors, and later if you have time you can study more books in detail. Did you understand? Like that, cover the authors. Don't sit and study everything about an author at first itself, because then you won't be able to proceed. Study the most important works, then go on, then study other authors, and also keep revising. That is very important. Revising all this, not only reading once, but revising several times so that you don't forget. That is very, very important. So you should have your own notes with all these details. Do not worry. For me, I took at least 15 years to study everything properly after my MA. I was a very good student in MA. Actually, I got ranks and all that. but BA also. But it is not enough. You need a lot of time after that. I passed NET with JRF in the first year after I passed MA, but that is not enough. That doesn't mean anything. I had to sit and study for at least 15 years to be able to call myself a passable scholar. So do not worry if you're taking time. It is normal, it is natural, it is human. But if you know the major works of major authors, you will pass this exam. Don't worry about that. And what else should you study? Of course, linguistics is there, criticism is there, theory is there. Here also you should know the major movements. First make a syllabus and then go into the details. Major movements, major authors or theorists, major works, terms, approaches, like that you should go. Understand that every single thing in English literature you cannot study for the exam. Knowing a majority of areas deeply and thoroughly is enough. Some areas can be left out or can be dealt with in a cursory manner. When I teach, I leave linguistics a little like that, because if you know linguistics alone, you cannot pass the exam. You have to know literature. Majority of questions, 60% of questions is from literature, and then 30% is from criticism and theory, and then last 10% or 5% is from linguistics and other areas. It's almost like that. So some areas you have to leave because you're human. You can't study every single thing in the vast Pacific Ocean of English literature, right? So whatever you know, you should know deeply. Some areas can be dealt with in a cursory manner. That doesn't mean you should never study those areas. Eventually, take time and study those areas also. And how to make use of books and videos. Every book that you have, every video that you watch is actually a guide to your own research and preparation. Watching a video is on T.S. Eliot, for example, is not enough. That doesn't mean you know everything about T.S. Eliot. It is only a guide. You have to do your own reading and research. Because remember, in this time, the NET exam and other exams have changed. The time when you can read a guidebook or watch a video and pass any exam is over. By just reading any book or watching any video, you cannot know everything about a subject, because in these exams these days, very, very deep questions and difficult questions are also asked. So you have to do your own reading and research. If you have watched a video on Chaucer or read an article or material on Chaucer, that means after that you should spend time researching on it. I know it takes time, but you should have a plan. Okay, for the next half an hour I am going to research on Chaucer and collect links, very good links, where you will get important material on Chaucer. Save it somewhere in a group or something, in your own group. You save it and then read it. And as you read it, make notes also. Do not go into Facebook and Instagram and social media while you're doing research. That is very, very important. Like that, plan and do research. Then you'll be able to cover a lot. Watch a video several times also. Then take down notes. Read extra and study your own notes. That is very important. Then from the videos, how will you address the questions in the exam? How will the videos help you to answer questions in the exam? In any exam, questions will be based on themes of a book. So what is the theme of all the books of Thomas Hardy or Graham Greene? So look up the author's works from the video or from other research. Make your own notes regarding the themes, and also look at the important characters, note down these characters, study them, and also the settings of the works. What are the important symbols, motives in the work? As much as possible, you should read the original book. Reading a summary is the problem. If you read just the summary, you will not be able to answer any question that is asked from the book. And no 10-minute video or even 1-hour video is going to help you completely with it. If you are lucky, you will get your questions from it. So, read several summaries. If possible, read the book. I mean the classics like Sons and Lovers, Test of the D'Urbervilles. Such books you should read. At least read very detailed summaries. At least read some chapters from the book. and study the symbols and motifs. The opening and ending of a book, they will often ask questions about important quotes from the book you need to know. You need to know the details of an author's life and period. You need to know about the publication of a book and the critical views on the book. Questions that are asked in the exams these days expect you to know widely. You should have wide knowledge as well as deep knowledge. So it is not possible suddenly one fine morning to acquire all this. What you can get from a coaching center or from a teacher like me is actually the method. And then 10% is only the method. The majority is your work. And our materials, our videos, our books, everything will guide you to do your own work. Do not forget that. And so much information you have collected, so much you have learned, then how do you remember all this? That is a very important problem that you face. Any human being, it means you, will forget at first. I also forgot at first. I remember because of repeated teaching, repeated revision, repeated studying, repeated research. So do not panic if you remember. Just read again with repeated studying. Reading is not studying, you should understand. If you simply sit and read, that is not studying. You have to digest it. You have to assimilate it. You have to organize it scientifically into, okay, there are 2 parts to this. There are 5 points here. The first point has these sub-points. Like that, you should organize. That is why I teach through PowerPoint. Many of my videos have PowerPoint presentations as the visual, because it is organized so thoroughly. Simply speaking about something is not enough. So organize information, and that will help you remember. Then cross-reference will help you remember. And the wider knowledge you have, the better you will remember. Did you understand? So it is not easy, but it is not impossible. It is very interesting. It will become your passion. When you have the passion, you will be able to do it so well. So keep on doing all the wonderful things you are doing. Remember that knowledge is like an ocean. It is endless. Do not think that you will be able to study everything in English literature. I have also not studied everything in English literature, obviously. There are thousands and millions of books and authors that I do not know anything about. Do not think that you know everything. Be humble. You are in the banks of an ocean, in the beach, and looking at this vast ocean of knowledge. Did you understand? It is wonderful to at least have a bucket full of that water. We cannot study everything before we pass, but study intelligently the important things, the important authors, important works, important details. Studying, remember, is a lifelong process. It does not end with any exam. If you have passed NET with JRF, that doesn't mean you can now stop studying. You have to begin studying. It goes on for an entire lifetime. Follow whatever tips I have given you. Be confident and you will certainly improve. Do real hard work. You will certainly improve. And very importantly, you will pass your exam also. Don't keep thinking, I will not pass, I don't know, I don't remember. Don't think negatively. Be confident. I'm sure you will pass your exam. Okay? Go on studying. Go on learning more and more. Go on growing. Just don't depend on anyone. The person you should depend on is yourself, because you can do it. Do not depend on any one book or any one author or any one teacher. Depend on yourself, because you can do it. I wish you all the very best. I'm sure that you will do very, very well in the exam and pass it. I'm confident. Thank you for listening to me.